Hey everybody, it's Matt from AI DIY or AIDIY.tech. Today we're going to talk about you as an AI artist with your YouTube channels and your websites and your Instagrams and your TikToks. How can you stand out compared to everybody else? Even if you want to or you haven't been thinking about standing out, why you should at least have sort of look and feel and how you should do that. So stay tuned and watch for that. Okay, welcome back everybody. Now, who am I to sort of tell you this? Well, I've run business in the past. I did a startup company a few years ago called Securicourse. That was, we were developing online software, and I really learned a lot about how to do branding. Then I've had an Amazon, and I really learned the importance of standing out and looking the part when it comes to that. And you might be wondering, why you'd have to do that as an AI artist. Well, we'll go through that as well. Okay, so what I want to talk to you a little bit about, but not get too wrapped up around the wheel, is the idea of a style guide. It's just a good way to give you a bit of context to that. So when I was running Securicourse, we engaged with a consultant to create our logo, to say what colors we should use, what fonts we should use, how the logo should be used, how it shouldn't be used, even secondary colors and things. I think I mentioned fonts as well, and what ways they should be used. Now in business, and possibly in your YouTube channel, I don't want to assume that everybody in YouTube is small. Like, you might be having plans of having big dreams for your AI music, and you may have a team working for you. The idea of a style guide is you might have somebody working on your website, you might have somebody working on your YouTube channel, someone different working on your TikTok, on your Instagram, and all your social media. The idea of this brand and style guide is you give that to whoever it is that's working on your stuff, and they have to stay in the parameters of what that guide is. Now, I didn't want to get too wrapped up on that, but this is what it sort of looks like, as it's sort of shown you. So that's your basis. So you may be like, oh, Matt, well, I just looked at your page. It's not all it in a bit, and I saw your other one, and it's not all it in a bit. That's a fair call. That's all. I'm starting to rein that in. My focus for this channel was to get to a point where I knew exactly who my audience is, talk to them, and have the best content that I can. I'm sort of working that way forward, and my look and feel is sort of coming along based on that. Now, the thing that stuck in my mind when I had a mentor back in my Amazon days, and actually the Securicourse days as well, was when you have a product, and your AI music is a product in a brand, if you have a shelf, and you put all your stuff up on a shelf. In your case, your shelf would be your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, your thumbnails. Your thumbnails is actually a really good example here. If a customer or one of your followers looked at that all in one place, would it make sense to them? And I sort of, like, you might be thinking, well, I got a $2 shop in town, and they've got screwdrivers, sponges, and wrapping paper, and people go there and they make money. But you got to think about it right now with AI music, the amount of AI music that's out there and people just throwing stuff out there. It's like you're in a town with a population of 500 and you've got 80,000 $2 shops there. How do you distinguish yourself, or how do you separate yourself from those others? And that's what this sort of branding does. Now, yep, we can look through my site here, and especially my old stuff. I started out having an idea, like I kind of wanted it, but I wasn't really sort of sure what I was doing. And now you sort of get an idea coming along now where, my blues, my YouTube channel and my website sort of have the same look and feel. My fonts aren't quite there yet. That stuff I sort of have to work out. These are the things that are definitely in my planner to go forward. But I also wanted to have this as an example of myself as not being great. So I don't have to go to any of my subscribers and go like, you should fix this and you should fix that. I'd rather just sort of pull myself apart than going to and hurting anybody's feelings. Although if you do reach out to me, like there's better people. Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you the people that are my subscribers that I think are doing it really well and why I think they're doing it really well. All right. So like I said, I'm going to show you some examples. Now, I've sort of spoken of the visuals, right? Now, your brand in this case, isn't just the visuals. Like, can you imagine Metallica doing their metal music, but also doing like Christian, hymns or something like that? Like, if you go to a Metallica concert, you'd be confused, right? No one's going to buy tickets to that. Although, maybe in that example you might, because it'd be probably one-off. So here's an example of this subscriber that I have that actually does it really well. Check out Pink Noise here, right? As you scroll down, look at what Pink Noise does. Like, first of all, Pink Noise it makes sense. It's all that pink color. It's using the same sort of look and feel with the female characters. And if you go and listen to some of Pink Noise's music, it's similar. It makes sense. It's not country and western and death metal and children's music. It's all sort of one thing. Now, I'm not being critical of people that are all over the place. You might do this because of the pure joy of creating different sorts of genres and how it makes you feel. Like, my AI music channel is a mishmash of everything, because I mostly do that because I like to make myself laugh, and I hope there's some people out there that have the same sense of humor, but also I want to do it so I'm up to date with all the tools and how to best use Suno and recently Udio. So the purpose of that isn't that. I'm not trying to get 1 million subscribers with that. It's a totally different thing. So this other one I want to show you, and I know I mention CyberZen all the time, but CyberZen does it so well. And the type of music that CyberZen puts out there, the brand that CyberZen has, like, it's one thing, it's skulls, but it's not. Like, if you click on the videos, you're not just staring at a skull. There's stuff going on. There's visual representations. And if I think it's EDM or chill. I'm not sure. I think there's different. There's psytrance and all this stuff. It's in that sort of genre. So CyberZen stands out in that area. It makes sense to people to go there if they're into that. And now there's one more I want to bring, because the branding is completely different than those other two. This is Midnox Music, and you can see the fonts are consistent through. The way the sizing of the font is even sort of important in this case as well. The look of it, the feel, and the music is very similar to each other. It's a brand. So if you just have a think about that, like, even if you aren't trying to be noticed big time on YouTube and have a huge following, I relate it back to, I'm in IT. I do IT infrastructure, I do security, I do identity management, I've done support. I'm an IT guy. I do AI things. This is a really big passion of mine. I like music. A few years ago, I built a picket fence in my house over the course of like 2 weeks. I did the absolute best version of that picket fence that I could. It's still standing now, and I still look at it now like it's perfectly white. I did several coats of paint, and I like to look at it. I'm proud of it. Like, even if you're just doing music and it's a lot of different genres, you still want to, when you go to your YouTube channel, sit back and go, that is a nice looking YouTube channel, and you want to be proud of it. You want, when people go there to look at it, you want them to notice that there's cool things that you sort of did in that. Again, like, there's no judging. I'm just giving advice based on experiences that I've had and channels that I like to go to because of the way they've sort of branded themselves. So, okay. So I've been through there. I've explained the point of a purpose of a style guide, why it's important to have some sort of brand, even if you're not like so totally serious about it. And I've given examples of some really good ones as well as some not so great ones. So what do you do now? This is what I did when I started up AI DIY, because I knew I had needed some sort of style brand guide, an idea roughly, very roughly, to get me going in the right direction. I knew, well, at some point somebody else is going to take that over, or I'm going to spend a lot more time doing it. But what you want to do now is go to have a conversation with ChatGPT, mention style guide, maybe download an example of a style guide that you like. There's going to be some online, or there's going to be different samples. Maybe go to someone on Upwork if you advance. I don't know. You don't have to really hire anybody for that. Go to ChatGPT, say the purpose of what you want a style branding guide for. You know, I want it for my website. I want the look and feel to be the exact same for my website, for TikTok, for YouTube, for Facebook, all your socials, and all that stuff. I want that all to look the same. I want fonts. I want colors. You might have a logo already. You probably do. Drop the logo into ChatGPT. Say, this is what my logo is. This is the reason behind the logo. And just work with ChatGPT to have it. And then put it in some sort of document so you have that. And whenever you're going and doing your socials, your website, or YouTube, keep that style guide in mind, right? And you can actually say, ChatGPT, reference my style guide when you're making this AI image. It may or may not get it right. Usually it gets it right, or whatever AI tools you use. Okay, cool. I just want to wrap this up saying, look, I understand like this may be some little thing you do on the side or whatever, but just try to do it a little bit. You know, it is fun trying to wrap your head around sort of branding and the look and feel. And the reason a lot of us out here do AI music is because it's something personal for us. Add that next layer of personal onto what you're doing now, which is that look and feel, and combine it into that music that you do. I guarantee that adding that next layer of complexity and personal touch will be something that you sort of feel and enjoy at the next level. Because you've sort of done that, because you're suddenly becoming artists. Some of you have been an artist for a while, and you've been creative in those sort of ways. But go ahead and do that. Come back to me in a little while. Let me know how you feel about it. If you've gotten a response, even if you don't have a response, let me know how you personally feel about it. Now, I want to wrap that up, and I have had trouble wrapping up episodes before, like blah 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 blah, something wrap up. What I want to do from now on is I'm going to lead out with a hand-picked highlight of a subscriber of a song that I think is really cool. So check this one out. I'll put a link below. I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you come here next time.
In the embered night, I bear the scars forged in black flames beneath distant stars. They built a cage, a towering pyre, yet here I am, fierce with unyielding fire. Forged in black flames, they tried to bind, but in the shadows my strength I find. For every scar an iron seam, a heart reborn from broken dreams. Their shadows linger, dark and cold, but they can't reach the fire I hold. In silent depths where sorrow